Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 fighters in Mortal Kombat Onslaught, so let's get right into it. Alright, so first I want to start off with the two honorable mentions. On the 1.2.1 tier list, we have 12 characters in God tier, and of course this is a top 10, which means 2 of them did not make it onto this list, so I want to talk really quick about who they are and why they didn't make it. The first one that didn't make it is Hellfire Scorpion. Hellfire Scorpion is still an excellent character, but in the current state of the meta, there are other ways to apply burn to characters, and burn is less relevant because so many characters have ways of gaining their special meter very quickly. In addition, he's no longer the top assassin for the Netherrealm team. He's not as good for things like Scarlet Boss Tower as was originally believed because he does physical damage, and there are even other 5-star body assassins who in the current meta outperform him. So while he is still absolutely a god tier character, he just narrowly missed the top 10. The other honorable mention is Cyber Smoke, and I've been getting a lot of questions about why Cyber Smoke is suddenly god tier. And what's interesting is there wasn't any change made to Cyber Smoke, but rather we discovered an interesting interaction that prevented us from testing him properly the first time. So we'd actually seen evidence early on that Cyber Smoke, equipped with a Moroi crystal, can use his second passive to do a ton of healing. But in all of our testing, and I mean me personally, I powered up my Cyber Smoke a decent amount, leveled up his passive, put him on a team with Cyrax, and really tried to get the most out of his healing, and we weren't seeing it. And so because we deemed it not reproducible, we couldn't justify giving him god tier because he wasn't actually doing the healing, even though some other people had managed it. And what we discovered is if you read his passive, it says cyber teammates use their drones to cleanse, and we had been assuming that since Cyber Smoke was providing the drones, that those cleanses would count as his cleanses, but in fact they don't. And so you are less likely to see good healing from the Moroi crystal when paired with Cyrax, because those drones count as Cyrax's cleanse, which is pretty annoying. But so when you're on Cyber Smoke as a solo character, he can actually do insane amounts of healing. I've got a couple examples. We have one where he does over like 2.5 million healing in under 60 seconds. There's another screenshot of him doing like 1.4, 1.5 million healing. But yeah, he is a very competent healer with a Moroi crystal relic, and his special can of course be used to steal a ton of special meter and essentially lock someone down for a very long time. So we do consider him now a god tier healer now that we can reliably get that healing out of him, but still not quite enough to crack the top 10. Kicking us off at number 10, we have Wind God Fujin. Fujin is still good at all of the things that he has always been good at, jumping straight into the backline. He's more arena relevant than he's been in a while because he can just pounce Kenshi, and when you pair him with your own Kenshi, you can quickly and easily eliminate an enemy Kenshi. He does magic damage, which makes him really good for Scarlet Boss Tower. He's obviously excellent for Liu Kang Boss Tower, so he comes with a lot of PvE benefits, a lot of PvP benefits. He's just a really, really solid assassin, and yeah, not much has changed. He's just still reliable, so for that reason he gets the number 10 spot. Coming in at number 9, we have Shadowmancer Noob Saibot. Similarly to Wind God Fujin, Shadowmancer Noob Saibot still does what he does. He got a little bit of a breath of new life now that Mad Queen Mileena has been introduced, giving more vitality to the Netherrealm team, and he is still Brotherhood of Shadow and Netherrealm. He's still one of, if not the best healer in the game as far as massive single target heals that provide a block boost. He's got special damage reduction. He's just overall a really, really safe support for protecting a team, and his combos are insanely powerful. He gets just crazy special meter drain regularly from his combos. So yeah, he's still just one of the absolute most dependable supports in the entire game, and with the Netherrealm team getting a bit of a boost in this patch, Shadowmancer Noob Saibot easily holds the number 9 spot. Coming in at number 8 is Mad Queen Mileena. Now, unlike some of the other characters on this list, Mad Queen Mileena has a ton of room to grow with synergies, but the way we evaluate characters for this list is we look at them as a singular character. If you get this character, how much are they going to improve your gameplay? So a lot of Mad Queen Melina's power comes from really, really powerful synergies with Quan Chi in particular, but just with Netherrealm teammates, with Brotherhood of Shadow teammates. She's really, really good paired with Shadowmancer Noob Saibot. But as a solo character, she is still top 10 worthy. Even if we assume that you don't have the ideal teammates for her, she is still a 5-star mind assassin. She does magic damage, so she's an excellent choice for Scarlet Boss Tower, which is really, really good. She's a member of a prominent team and can get a lot of sustain that route. She can even give herself some vampirism. But yeah, she's just an incredibly effective, really, really high damage 5-star mind assassin. And being the only one, that easily secures her the number 8 spot. Coming in at number 7, we have Classic Sub-Zero. I think a lot of people sleep on Classic Sub-Zero. People certainly do not show his damage output enough respect, but Classic Sub-Zero does a tremendous amount of damage. He basically applies bleed with every ability that he has. He is one of the only 5-star attackers in the game, and he is Mind Affinity, which is pretty rare. For PvE, especially for Boss Tower, he's absolutely incredible for things like Goro Tower and Scarlet Boss Tower, among others. But he is just a super, super solid unit. He absolutely is arena viable just based on the merits of his damage alone. A lot of people seem to think that his special not immediately dealing damage makes him weak, but I mean, you can just track his damage numbers at the end of a match, and even in arena, he is a really, really solid, dependable attacker. Some of the best DPS in the game, and he easily warrants the number 7 spot. Coming in at number 6, we have Classic Katana. Classic Katana is a very well-rounded character. She's a little specialized in that she looks to spread damage over time without the ability to apply any particularly notable damage over time abilities of her own, and she does additional damage to magic damage type characters who are becoming more prevalent but are still the minority. But at the end of the day, she's a 5-star warrior. She does decent damage, and her passive is incredible for any team, anywhere. She just provides a ton of safety while providing a healthy amount of damage. So again, she's just really, really well-rounded, and her passive is just unbelievably useful. She is able to function as a primary tank on a lot of different comps while being built for damage rather than being a tank. So yeah, she's just really sturdy, really well-rounded character. Definitely our number 6 pick. Coming in at number 5, we have MK1 Kenshi. MK1 Kenshi is a bit of a one-dimensional character in that he just deals damage, but he deals a lot of it. He does have some tools for protecting himself against melee opponents, but mostly it is just about that sweet, sweet damage that he is able to put out. He is currently the only 5-star sniper and is still super reliable for dealing tons of damage. He deals magic damage, which makes him useful for a lot of different game modes. Really, really good in Liu Kang Tower. He's still viable in Goro Tower, even affinity countered. Excellent, of course, in Quan Chi Boss Tower. Even affinity countered, he's still good in Scarlet Boss Tower. His DPS is simply unmatched. So, as the king of DPS, although he's a bit of a one-dimensional character, you can't argue with the fact that Kenshi brings the pain, and that allows him to secure our number 5 spot. Coming in at number 4, we have Arctica Sub-Zero. There's not too much to say about Arctica Sub-Zero beyond he is currently the best defender in the game. As a tank, he does a great job of protecting the entire team by redirecting damage that would kill teammates onto himself and then greatly reducing it. He can freeze enemies who are attacking your team, and that can just outright win you arena matches if you get a good freeze. He slows enemy special meter gain. He just comes with pretty much all of the utility that you want in a tank, and still nobody does it better. He's sturdy, he freezes people, he takes away their specials, he protects the team, he gets the job done. So for that reason, Arctica Sub-Zero is the number 4 pick. Coming in at number 3, we have MK1 Scorpion. MK1 Scorpion is still one of the most well-rounded units in the game. He is a really, really durable warrior who even comes with a bit of sustain. He can set enemies ablaze. His special does a tremendous amount of damage, and he's a magic damage character, so he's really, really good in Liu Kang Boss Tower, really, really good in Scarlet Boss Tower, but he's also perfectly viable in Goro Tower. And yeah, I mean, he is just the full package. When it comes to being a warrior, he is exactly what you think of when you think really, really high damage, really, really high survivability, and he's just super reliable. If he gets his special off, it's almost guaranteed that he is going to kill someone, and in arena that can be invaluable. He just has tremendous utility in PvP and PvE, and the fact that his special is a multi-hit even allows him to circumvent a lot of the current protective measures that save people from really high burst abilities, because his is a bunch of smaller hits. So yeah, he's just very, very reliable and easily warrants the number 3 spot on our list. Coming in at number 2, we have Peacemaker. While Kenshi made this list because he's undeniably the top single target damage dealer who can just outpour a ton of damage, Peacemaker is undeniably the top AoE damage dealer in that he can just do tons of damage to lots of people all at once. He's got a special that can repeatedly be fired to hit multiple targets. He's got the Sonic Boom, which can affect multiple targets. He's got critical chance debuffs, and he's got a ton of damage between his abilities and his relic. If you use that on him, you'll get just a ton of damage at him. But yeah, Peacemaker's damage numbers are absolutely insane. And on top of that, although he's an attacker, he's pretty sturdy for an attacker, but he tends to stay safe by sitting in the back line. So yeah, he's just a really, really well-rounded character. And in terms of dealing overall damage to multiple characters, you will not find someone who does more than Peacemaker, which is more than enough justification for him to take the number 2 spot on this list. Coming in at number 1, MK1 Shang Tsung. No other character truly embodies doing it all like MK1 Shang Tsung. I mean, he truly does it all. He keeps himself incredibly safe with his stealth, so you can't get rid of him early. He does a tremendous amount of damage because he's often hitting into a defense debuffed opponent. He has tremendous utility, both by applying poison and by applying a defense debuff, which allows everyone to do more damage to that target. He does an insane amount of healing with his passive. I mean, he's just good everywhere, at everything. He's incredibly good in Scarlet Boss Tower, but he's perfectly viable for Goro Boss Tower and Quan Chi Boss Tower. He immediately substantially improves any arena team. Again, you can't even really counter this guy. He's in stealth, so you can't eliminate him before he's able to do work. Normally, if someone was applying a devastating debuff and some poison, you could at least build tenacity and hope to resist it, but he builds all mastery, so even if you build a ton of tenacity, he's just going to match you by having really high mastery. But yeah, offensively, he contributes a ton. Defensively, he contributes a ton. He's a really safe pick. He's just so good. Hands down, he is currently the number 1 fighter in Onslaught for patch 1.2.1. But alright, there you have it. That is my list of the top 10 fighters in Mortal Kombat Onslaught for patch 1.2.1. So obviously I'm interested in what you guys think. Do you think someone should have been on this list that wasn't included, or that someone got a ranking they didn't deserve? Obviously, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Please be sure to like, subscribe, all that stuff that helps out YouTubers, and I will see you guys real soon. Until next time, peace!